We have 5 questions we get asked all the time about the Rinnai 1250, and this review is really quick, very simple. We're going to answer those 5 questions for you right now. Now, the first thing you're going to think about when you think Rinnai 1250 has got to do with the width of the heater. It's got nothing at all to do with that. The physical width of the fascia of this heater is 1320 millimeters from edge to edge, and it's 620 millimeters high. Now, with the heater that large or that size, you do definitely want a massive feature wall in your home. I would really recommend something at least 2 meters wide to make the heater look balanced and symmetrical. It is a beautifully finished off heater. The fascia itself, it's a satin black finish. It's all powder coated across. It's balanced, it's got a really nice symmetrical finish to it. And I do love the fact that there are no joints. And that's the thing with some of the cheaper heaters. Now you can see the joints in the middle. I can't see any joints in this heater at all. It's a beautifully finished off fascia heater. For me, it's all about the control. I want a gas log fire I don't need to have a degree on how to use. And Rinnai have come around to a control for someone just like me. The thermostat itself is very simple to operate. It isn't complicated. It's a one button, turns the heater off and on. You can't get any simpler than that. Now, it does have 3 modes. So the first mode you've got is a manual mode, and you have 6 different heat settings you can put the heater into and just set and forget. So if you want high flames and just run it flat out, you can do that with this remote. Or from an efficiency perspective, you can set the room at a desired temperature like 22, 23 degrees, whatever you like, and the heater, like any other thermostatically controlled heater, will regulate the home to that temperature. Now, programs, a lot of people don't program their thermostats because it's too complicated. This is simple. You have 1 program, 2 programs, morning and afternoon. So if you want the heater to be on when you get out of bed, it is probably the easiest remote control I've ever programmed to have the heater off and on there for you too. Now, one of the biggest things I love about the heater is the noise. This is on flat out right now. You can't hear it. And Rinnai have got a great reputation of having gas log fires which are very, very quiet. And I love this about this heater. A lot of heaters, now this heater is designed to heat 85 square meters. That is a massive room. And heaters of this sort of power, this sort of output, really have to use the fans flat out to bash the heat into the room. This is on high and I can't even hear it. Like, it's really quiet. The other thing which makes the heater really affordable is to do with the running cost. It's 5.5 star rated. It's one of the most highest efficient gas log fires on the marketplace. And what I love with the efficiency aspect of it is you're not compromising with the flame. Now, the flame pattern on this is probably one of the things which we get a lot of comments about, is having a look how the flame works. Now, a lot of gas log fires, they put a lot of flame in the middle and nothing on the edge. And what the Rinnai 1250 has is a double burner aspect. So there's 2 rows of flame and it stretches from edge to edge, giving you an absolute stunning flame pattern. Now, the installation is probably the most important thing. When you're building or renovating, pretty well every gas log fire has to go in before you render or finish or plaster the wall. Now, there's a bit of a security risk there, and everyone does get nervous as what if the heater gets stolen, or what if it gets damaged, or how do I renovate or build a home and have a heater installed before it's actually locked up. The Rinnai 1250 series is perfect for that application. The whole heater is designed that you can frame the wall out, you can plaster the wall, and the heater is the last thing what goes into your home. You do not have to put the heater in before you finish off the wall. The power flow system makes it very simple to control. The connections are all here at the front of the heater. So to get in there and do the connections, to do the gas connections, to do the electrical connections, to do the fluid connections, you can do all that after the wall is plastered, which makes this heater probably the safest heater on the marketplace to install. There's no way theft will get this because it can get installed right when you need it for your home. They're the 5 most common questions we get asked about the Rinnai 1250 gas log fire. Now for my review, very simply, I really like it. I think for a high efficient heater, they've got a really good compromise between efficiency and flame. And I love the fact that the flames are very inconsistent. I like the little long yellow flame here on the side. I like it, I think it's a good heater. A couple of things that bug me, and I'm being very petty, but I'm going to bring them up anyhow, is Rinnai have got this LED light on the side of the heater to indicate the heater's on. I can tell the heater's on. When you push the button, the flame's on. I don't know why they've done that. And if you've got a bit of a reflective wall of an evening and the lights are off, you're going to see it. And it might bug me. You can get a black texture and scribble it out if you really want to, but why would they have it on there? I do like the fact that the screen can be removed. It is a bit of a pain in the bum to put it back on. So in my opinion, if you want the screen on, leave it on. Don't try and take it off and on. It isn't as simple to take off and on as they assume or promote it will be. But except for that, I really quite like the heater. It's quiet, it's efficient, it's got a hell of a heat output on it. And I'd really recommend you to come into a Geelong store and Dandenong store, have a few minutes up your sleeve, put yourself in front of it and have a look at it. And that's the most important thing we can recommend before you buy any gas log fire. You've got to see it running in person. And you've got to grab the thermostat remote control and you've got to turn it on yourself. If you can't turn the heater on, you're not going to have much luck with it. And I like the fact it is a very simple remote control with this heater. No Wi-Fi required, no apps required. You just push a button and the unit works. So if you want to check it out, come into our showrooms, Geelong, Dandenong, and check them out. I'm Greg from Pivot Stove and Heating, and this is the Rinnai 1250 gas log fire.